Now, from the area's leader in live local news, this is Wyln News, the area's #1 source of live local news and information in Luzerne, Schuylkill, Carbon, and Columbia counties. Wyln News starts now.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us on Wyln News. Here's a recap of our top stories from the week. The Hazleton Area School District held their monthly school board meeting on Thursday, June 27th at the Hazleton Area Career Center. Several items were approved during the meeting, including new district hires and the budget for the upcoming school year. However, the main topic of interest at the meeting was the approval of construction on a new elementary school for the district. The 1,800 student building will teach grades 1 through 5 and will be constructed behind the Hazleton Area High School. Under the new changes, the Hazel Township Early Learning Center will become a school for kindergartners, and Maple Manor will house middle school students grades 6 through 8. All other schools in the district will remain the same. The option rejected by the school board would have seen a full integration of the new model throughout the district, where elementary school students would have seen their own separate buildings from middle school students. Drums, Maple Manor, and Hazleton Elementary would all become 6 through 8, with all remaining schools adopting a K through 5 or 1 through 5 model. Superintendent of Schools Dr. Brian Uplinger said that the district is still experimenting with this new model, and Maple Manor will be a test run for an exclusive middle school once the new elementary school is constructed.
We're transforming Maple to that facility, that middle school facility. That'll give us a test run to see if down the road we need to make the change district-wide or just keep it as it is right now. We need that additional space. The new facility will be for 1,800 students, and it will also have incorporated in it above and beyond that 1,800 student mark of special education center. That'll allow us to bring students that are outside of the district back to us so we can better serve them than they are currently being served in outplacements.
School board meetings are held monthly at the Hazleton Area Career Center. Crews responded to a crash in Sugarloaf Township on Monday evening. According to officials, crews were called to the scene around 9 o'clock p.m. for a motor vehicle accident with entrapment and injuries. The accident occurred at the intersection of Prospect Road and Tom Hicken Road. Crews say hydraulic tools were used to safely extract the patient from the vehicle. Cunningham Borough Police, Sugarloaf Township Police, Sugarloaf Fire Company, and Valley Regional Medic all responded to the scene. The extent of the patient's injuries are unknown at this time.
A woman is wanted by the Carbon County Sheriff's Office. Stephanie Betterly is wanted on charges of defiant trespass, disorderly conduct, and use or possession of drug paraphernalia. She is known to have ties to the Weatherly and Hazleton areas. Anyone with information regarding her whereabouts is asked to contact the Carbon County Sheriff's Office at 570-325-2821.
Hazleton Parks and Recreation has announced the return of the city's annual Independence Day celebration. The event will take place on Saturday, July 6th from 4 p.m. to 11 p.m. at City View Park. Participants at the event will have the opportunity to listen to live music, enjoy a plethora of food trucks, ride a mechanical bull, and watch the fireworks display. Pay-to-play carnival games will also be available for the kids. The fireworks display is scheduled to begin at 9:45 p.m. Free busing services will also be available throughout the city, beginning at 4 p.m. with the last pickups at 11 p.m. The Pennsylvania Theater of Performing Arts is bringing Stephen Sondheim's popular musical, Into the Woods, to the stage this weekend. The story of Into the Woods follows a baker and his wife who learn that they cannot have a child due to a witch's curse. As they venture out to break the curse, the couple meets several classic fairy tale characters, such as Cinderella, Jack the Giant Killer, and Little Red Riding Hood. The show will be performed at 212 West Broad Street in Hazleton from July 5th through July 14th. Friday and Saturday evening shows will begin at 7 o'clock p.m., and Sunday matinees will begin at 3 p.m. Reserved seating is available at ptpashows.org. Tickets can also be purchased at the PTPA box office beginning 1 hour before each performance.
Wyln is giving away free tickets to the NASCAR Cup at Pocono Raceway on Sunday, July 14th. To enter, just like and comment on the ticket giveaway post on the Wyln News Facebook page. 2 winners will be randomly selected on Wednesday, July 10th, and will receive 4 tickets each.
Coming up on Wyln News, Chris Fulmer leads us down the path through history with Nanticoke Part 4. Plus, we check in with State Representative Dane Watrow on Watrow's Weekly Update. And stay right here on Wyln. We'll be right back.
My name is Adi, and now we're going to be cloudy.
Weather Kids is brought to you by Lehigh Valley Hospital, Hazleton. Your health deserves a partner.
We want your child to be our WYLN Weather Kid. Your child can be our feature weather reporter of the day on WYLN News and WYLN social media posts just by using your smartphone or any video recording device. It's easy. All ages are welcome, from toddlers to teens. To find out how, go to the weather section of WYLNTV.com or look for our post about it on the WYLN News Facebook page. Submit your Weather Kid video today.
Your guide to everything Pocono Mountains is PTN, the Pocono Television Network. Tune in and see all the unique places to stay and things to do in the Pocono Mountains. Watch PTN on WYLN.
If you're looking for an affordable pre-owned car or truck, Cher's Auto Sales has a great lineup of clean, dependable, and quality vehicles. Stop in at 610 North Broad Street in West Hazleton, 570-454-7229. Cher's is proud to be celebrating 70 years in business. Like and follow WYLN News on Facebook for the WYLN News Midday Update, posted daily between noon and 2 p.m., powered by Lehigh Valley Health Network. When it's serious, there's only one health network with seriously innovative health institutes. Lehigh Valley Health Network, your health deserves a partner. Come shoot at Whitetail Preserve 118 Boulevard Road in Bloomsburg. Their skeet, trap, and sporting clay fields are professionally designed, and all stations are handicapped accessible. Whitetail Preserve has resident shooting instructors certified by the NRA in shotgun, rifle, pistol, home safety, and personal protection in the home. Whitetail can also cater any size event, whether it be a private party, corporate event, or wedding. Call 570-384-2314 or 570-790-8969.
Hey guys, this week on Let's Talk Chiropractic, we're doing a laser presentation with these two beautiful people because there's going to be a series up at the Wellness Center. July 10th is a Wednesday at 6 o'clock. So stay tuned for the show and then come to the Wellness Center presentation.
Between 1917 and 1925, Nanticoke experienced a tremendous growth in population, enough for it to qualify as a third-class city. Its residents voted in favor of organizing the community's government as a city in 1924. Dan Sikowski would be elected the first mayor of the city of Nanticoke the following year. The newly anointed city would have extra reasons to celebrate during the 20s, as Nanticoke High School's basketball program was a state powerhouse during this time. In both 1923 and 1926, Nanticoke won the state basketball championship, defeating Monessen and Erie East respectively for the crown. Later, in 1961, Nanticoke, then known as the Rams rather than the Trojans as today, were state champions again, defeating Hickory Township for the title. And the year since, both the Nanticoke boys and girls have maintained strong squads in the hardwood. Meanwhile, in 1945, baseball fans in the city would get to see a local player with an amazing story to tell reach the major leagues. Pete Gray was born in Nanticoke in 1915, the son of Lithuanian immigrants. At age 7 or 8, the exact details varied in tellings over the years, he lost his right arm in a wagon accident. Undaunted, Gray taught himself to bat and field left-handed. and once he reached adulthood, had settled into a regular semi-pro ball in the region, with stops in Pine Grove and Scranton among other locations. By 1942, he had graduated to the minor leagues, playing for the Can-Am League's Trois-Rivières Renards and the Southern Association's Memphis Chickasaws, and was with the latter squad in 1945 when the St. Louis Browns purchased his contract. Gray would spend one season in St. Louis in which he would collect 51 hits, but his inability to hit breaking pitches would prove his undoing. This, combined with a lackluster relationship with many teammates who saw him being on the team as a publicity stunt to sell tickets, and the return of regular players from World War II service, led to Gray's release after the season. He would toil in the minors for a few more years, notably in Toledo and Elmira, before returning to Nanticoke, where he struggled with gambling and alcoholism for years before finally coming to terms with what he had accomplished with just one arm. Pete Gray died in 2002, and today rests in Hanover Township's St. Mary's Cemetery. Another former Nanticoke resident started making his mark in acting by the beginning of the 1950s. He had been born Nicholas Adamchuk in 1931, the son of Ukrainian immigrants. His family, feeling burdened by life in the mines, moved to New Jersey when he was 5 after his uncle was killed in a mine accident. By chance, when visiting New York in 1948, he wandered into auditions for the play The Silver Tassie. There, he crossed paths with Jack Palance, himself also an ethnic Ukrainian from northeastern Pennsylvania, who, when auditions commenced, introduced the newcomer to the director as Nick Adams. The newly christened Adams did not get a part in the show, but would get his first role not long thereafter as Muff in Tom Sawyer. Nick Adams then moved out to Hollywood, where he would land a few small roles, but seemed unable to break through to bigger ones. He did count a few bigger stars among his close friends, however, including James Dean, who was able to get Adams cast as Chick in Rebel Without a Cause, and after whose death Adams would dub lines for in Giant. Another of Adams' close friends was Elvis Presley, and he would frequently spend nights at Graceland with the soon-to-be king. Adams finally got a big break in 1959 when he was cast in the lead in the TV show The Rebel, one of Mark Goodson and Bill Todman's rare non-game show productions. Adams, who was heavily involved in the show's writing, stars former Confederate soldier Johnny Yuma, who roamed the West fighting injustice with his father's sawed-off shotgun. The series lasted 2 seasons before it was canceled by ABC out of concerns over its sometimes violent content. Adams' career would stall afterwards, worsened by a faltering marriage and increased drug addiction. In his last years, he would end up making low-budget, low-quality films in Japan and Mexico. On February 7, 1968, Nick Adams was found dead in his Beverly Hills apartment from an apparent drug overdose. He was 36 years old. Closer to home, Nanticoke residents also got to see one of their own ascend to the state's highest office as the 50s began. John Sidney Fine had been born near Nanticoke in 1893. As a child, he milked cows on coal company property. Fine graduated Nanticoke High School as class valedictorian in 1911, then graduated Dickinson Law School 3 years later. He opened his own practice in Wilkes-Barre, and by 1920 had become active in the local Republican Party. This would pay off for him in 1927, when then-Governor Gifford Pinchot appointed Fine to the Luzerne County Court of Common Pleas. He served in this capacity until 1947, when he was promoted by Governor James Duff to the Pennsylvania Superior Court. 3 years later, when Duff resigned his seat to run for the U.S. Senate, Fine announced his bid for the governorship. He would narrowly defeat Philadelphia's Richardson Dilworth to become Pennsylvania's 35th governor. Fine's inauguration in 1951 would be the first in the state's history to be televised. Tragedy would mark the beginning of his tenure, however, as his wife Helen passed away 3 months after he took office from complications due to a head injury sustained during the campaign. A grieving Fine nonetheless pressed forward, determined to do his best despite having to work with the divided legislature. During his single term, as was constitutionally mandated in Pennsylvania at the time, Fine was able to introduce the state's first sales tax, ended segregation in the Pennsylvania National Guard, reorganized the Department of Health, and oversaw the beginning of construction of the Pennsylvania Turnpike's northeast extension. After leaving the governor's office in 1955, John Fine returned to law practice. He died in 1978 and today rests in Nanticoke's Oak Lawn Cemetery. By the time John Fine had left the governor's office, coal mining had entered its long decline in Nanticoke, as well as throughout northeastern Pennsylvania. The remaining mines would close in due time, and the community was forced to find new ways to sustain itself. There would be options, however. Luzerne County Community College opened in Wilkes-Barre in 1967. Within a few years, however, it had outgrown its available space in the city and was looking for a new location. It found it in Nanticoke on a 122-acre site. The college moved there in January 1974 onto a new campus of 8 buildings designed with the then latest technology. Luzerne County Community College continued growing in the decades that followed. Today, it has an enrollment of close to 5,000 students and 7 branch campuses along with the main Nanacoke campus.
Your guide to everything Pocono Mountains is PTN, the Pocono Television Network. Watch PTN on WYLN.
Attention, WYLN viewers! WYLN TV can now be seen on the Hazleton Service Electric Cablevision HD tier, channel 507, and over the air at 35.1. WYLN, we're your local network.
Are you looking for a trustworthy publishing company to publish your book? One that understands the process and upholds Christian values in its business practices?
Introducing Covenant Books, an author-friendly publisher who shares your beliefs and wants to publish your story. Call us today to get a free author packet to help get you started.
We realize your book is unique, personal, and written with a higher purpose. That's the content we're looking for.
We provide authors freedom and flexibility throughout the publishing process with professional book editing, award-winning design, and some of the highest royalty structures in the industry.
Covenant distributes and sells your book online and in bookstores everywhere. We convert your book in ebook format and sell it on Amazon, Apple iTunes, and to these distributors. Our authors love us.
So if you've written a biography, a devotional, a memoir, self-help, or any genre, we can help. Be like these authors and get your book published and sold today.
Call right now for your free writer's guide.
1-800-215-3680.
WYLN programming is online all the time. Visit our website at WYLNTV.com to check out archive shows and a live stream of our broadcasts. And don't forget to visit all of our social media pages for breaking news, weather, and sports. You can also head directly to our YouTube page for all our programming at youtube.com/WYLNTV35. Subscribe and ring that bell so you get notified every time there's a new show available online. WYLN News is brought to you by Lehigh Valley Hospital Hazleton. Your health deserves a partner.
Welcome back to Watcher's Weekly Update. I'm joined as always here by State Representative Dane Watcher. Dane, how's it going?
Very good. Once again, thank you and WYLN for having me on once again this week for the weekly update. I appreciate you.
Absolutely, always great to have you on. Today we want to discuss the state budget, which has had a very long history of just trying to get passed here in Pennsylvania. So can you tell us a bit about the progress that we've made so far with getting the budget passed?
Yeah, definitely. Unfortunately, June 30th is our drop dead date to get that budget done, and that did not happen, unfortunately. So we are moving forward in the first week here of July, and we're hopefully get it done this week. If not, maybe it might spill over to the following week. It's uncertain right now. From what I'm hearing in different chambers of government in Harrisburg, that there is progress being made, and I just hope with that progress there's going to be some good compromise. Remember, I was saying last time I was on that everybody, no matter what party you're on across the aisle, you got to compromise. It's like a relationship, a spouse, girlfriend, boyfriend, anything, parents, you got to have some type of compromise, and I'm hoping that our chamber in the House will have that same method of thinking to compromise to go ahead and get this budget done. We're there for the people. Education is the biggest piece of this budget right now, and it appears that could be what's potentially holding things up right now, is maybe trying to decide on how this is going to end up for the people of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. Everybody says, oh, my school property taxes are so high, and they are. People can't afford it anymore. We got to offer some type of relief for them. I had recently, we discussed the PIT, the personal income tax reduction. People can't afford it anymore. The grocery bills are high. Gas is still high. Inflation in general. I was just on the internet yesterday, just curious to see what mortgage rates are. Still extremely high. People can't afford it. So I'm hoping that this budget will offer some type of relief for people.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's great that you mentioned how the education portion of the budget is such an important aspect to getting this bill passed this year, for this fiscal year. And yeah, I know you've talked many times on this segment about how important it is to focus on education and make sure that we want to get it right before agreeing to like what the budget will be for this fiscal year.
Yes, yes, yeah. Education is a huge piece of that budget, and being with that lawsuit that happened, and the courts deemed that we have to fund, and I say we as a state have to fund education better than what we have been doing in the past. So that's like the big focal point on this year's budget, and hopefully the governor's office along with the Senate and the House will come to a good compromise to go ahead, and our citizens here in the Commonwealth don't see their taxes going up high in order to pay for a good quality education here for our children. Our school districts here in the 116th district are by far one of the best. And I'm a champion. Many viewers might disagree, but I have to say that the services, the classes that they provide to our students here in the 116th district, I'm talking about Shenandoah, we have Monterey City, we have the Hazleton Area School District, are providing good quality classes, and there's so many opportunities for children to grow and be successful.
Yeah. And hopefully we can see a compromise come that we can get to agreement for this budget, and especially for education. Hopefully we can come to some agreement with that, and hopefully that gets passed.
Yeah, the word we were talking about earlier is impasse, and we're unfortunately at that impasse right now. And I want to say I'm confident that we're going to get this done a lot sooner than we got it done last year. And I just truly believe we should stay there until this budget is complete, and I think that would be the right thing to do. So let's see, stay tuned, and we'll see if we can get this done for the people.
Definitely stay tuned here, and again, hopefully we get, that gets passed sometime this week, and we'll see what happens with that. So as always, I want to thank State Representative Dan Watcher for joining us on Watcher's Weekly Update. We'll see you next time.
SJ Kowalski is your Mitsubishi Diamond Contractor. They can install a Mitsubishi electric Mr. Slim ductless heating and cooling system. Mr. Slim systems are designed to make any living space in your home inviting. You can have a different temperature control for every room in your home. The money-saving technology can save you 25 to 50% on your heating bill. For Mitsubishi, Rinnai, and trained comfort specialists, call SJ Kowalski at 570-455-2600.
PPW Nation, get ready for the best of PPW Season 2. Join Paul Bowe, E. Julius Kuiper, Alexander Bravado, Tom Mitchell, and Alex Watt as we take you down memory lane and relive some of the best PPW matches of all time. Saturdays at 5 p.m., Sundays at 10 p.m., only on WYLN.
Hey! Did you know WYLN posts news stories and other bonus content on social media all week long? The Weather Kids, Fresh from the Farm, Everyday Heroes, Let's Talk Sports, Feel Good Friday, daily news stories, and more. Visit WYLNTV.com, Facebook, and YouTube to check it out. WYLN, the local leader on social media. We're your local network. Come shoot at Whitetail Preserve, 118 Boulevard Road in Bloomsburg. Their skeet, trap, and sporting clay fields are professionally designed, and all stations are handicap accessible. Whitetail Preserve has resident shooting instructors certified by the NRA in shotgun, rifle, pistol, home safety, and personal protection in the home. Whitetail can also cater any size event, whether it be a private party, corporate event, or wedding. Call 570-384-2314 or 570-790-8969. Do you like craft beer? Do you want to learn the right way to sample wine? How about checking out a restaurant with a unique flavor or a crazy food challenge? These are just some of the things we are featuring on Wine, Hops, and Road Stops. So, spend some time learning about great wine, great beer, and great food on WYLN TV 35.
Welcome back to Feel Good Friday. I'm joined Dr. John. Dr. John, how's it going?
Great, Brian. I thank God for every day.
Definitely. And we're going to talk about how to make healthier choices because, you know, it's always important to make healthy choices.
You know, in the Bible it says somewhere, what I do in the dark will be shown in the light. So my point, many people in my profession will say to me, you know, I love what I do because they share with me their hearts. John, I made this bad choice and it altered the course of my life. I think most people, Ryan, they think if they make a bad choice, let me cheat on my wife or let me go get drunk. That one decision, Ryan, if I hike in the woods and a big tree falls down, it alters the course of that stream forever. So your one decision has long-term consequences. Every decision you make, Ryan, I pray the Lord gives them discernment. God watches everything I think and I do. So make the right choices. So I pray when you're 80 years old, you can look back and say, thank you, God. I made the right choices. So right now, if you're in the middle of making bad choices, you know if they're bad, stop it. Get away from that bad stuff. So much stress we put on ourselves by making wrong choices. So it's a powerful topic you brought up.
You have a very valuable advice from Dr. John here, and I'd like to thank him for joining us on this Feel Good Friday, and we'll see you next time.